Look, if you don't want to make that change within yourself, it's not going to get better. This might not apply to everybody, but if you feel like you're rock bottom, okay, and you're hoping for a better day, but you literally are doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. You are provided with a choice every day. You are provided with multiple choices throughout the entire day. Take that choice, make that change. You've identified a problem. You're saying you're rock bottom. Got it. You're there now. There's only one way, and it's up. So change your mindset. Use that choice and go a freaking different direction. Love y'all. Faceman VTT out.
Day 3 of retirement. As an infantryman, I was asked if I could clean the sink. So let's look at this. Definitely some kind of grime on there. And I open up the cabinet. What do I use? Nothing comes to mind. Like my experience is my skill set. Nothing. Wait a minute. Everyone knows this is how you clean everything. Infantry, retired.
You can just take it.
Would you like a military discount?
Do you offer one?
Honestly, cap of the day.
Please. Thank you.
CC's Pizza is the county fair of restaurants. You go in there, you look around, you feel a little bit better about yourself, then you realize that you're in there too. Tell me I'm wrong. Well, let's be honest. You know, not everybody's made for this life. It's scary. You know, you gotta jump out of a plane while it's moving. That's not natural. It's high, it's fucking wet outside sometimes. It's snowy, it's hot, it's dry, it's shitty. Who the fuck would want to be airborne? Best job I ever had.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
Beans. 3, 2, 1. What up, what up? Welcome to episode 122 of the Trash Talk Hour. Special guest today is Kenny from Soldiers on Single Track. And as usual, I'm here with Buddy and Nick. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Yo.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yo.
Cheers.
Hell yeah. How are you doing today?
How's things?
Doing great. Doing great.
Good.
Weather's warm.
Yep.
Delightful outside.
It is. The weather's beautiful out here in
The
Arizona, buddy.
North Pole and the South Pole haven't flipped yet. Apparently, we're 75,000 years.
There's no such thing as a North and South Pole, buddy.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
We're due for those times, aren't we, buddy? Yeah, I saw that too.
Apparently, I saw it. They're like, the wind is going to be at like 1,000 miles an hour. It's going to get real hot for like 7 days. And I was like, Jesus, I need to find a cave somewhere.
Yeah.
We need a bunker, like one of those underground, I guess if the world flipped, it wouldn't really matter, right?
Yeah, I mean, you'd be good after a week, apparently. Whatever survives.
Whatever survives, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyhow, trash talkers. As usual, one of the funnest parts of the show is where we ignite the dumpster fire, also known as
most fun. You mean
most fun? Hey, don't get on me with my languages again, all right, buddy? I need to make it very clear. Do I have to tell everybody that I speak 3 languages now, buddy? And that English is not even my first language?
So now you're going to brag about having bad grammar in 3 different languages.
I'm just saying.
have some German people come on and they're like, that's not how you say that.
That's just like the stripper at Mickey's. She knew you were full of shit.
Yeah, so, Kaiserslautern's not a real city, huh? Wham! Like, what? She was fired, though, immediately.
Yeah, Mickey fired her right away. So, shout out to
Mickey's back in the day. Yeah.
Shout out to my wife, who was 8 months pregnant that night, too, in Mickey's. That was
few things.
Amy was pregnant, too, in Tyler, right?
The girls with stab wounds and cesarean scars. And we got pregnant women in there. Dave's getting water thrown on his face by a stripper. Like,
the Korean Circle on Bragg Boulevard. That place is closed down now, though, I think. I'm pretty sure that whole area is like closed down. That area.
I hope so. There's so many dead bodies.
It's funny that you said that and everybody just got quiet. Like,
I was never in there. Never been in there. Nope.
Never been there.
Nope. Never seen it. Never tried about.
Shout out to Mickey. Shout out to the Korean Circle. Shout out to Bragg Boulevard. Anyhow, I'm gonna kickstart the Stumpster Fire.
No, it's already
there. Today, it already started, definitely. So cheers.
I gotta get note-taking material.
Yeah.
You do, buddy. So today we're gonna talk about the real reason we invaded Iraq. Okay? Well, it's more like a question. Why did we invade
Iraq?
Wrong. We're gonna get to that, buddy, and you can answer with oil. And I'm gonna answer with my tinfoil hat, probably, and claim what I'm about to talk about here. So I took notes again as well. So what a lot of people don't know is that Iraq used to be known as the old Ur of Sumer, right? Basically the cradle of civilization. The city of Ur was the first ever known city dating back 6,500 BC, which was built by the Sumerians, okay? For those of you who don't know, the Sumerians they basically provided us with the modern calendar as we know it today, which is based on the lunar cycles, the wheel, the plow, irrigation systems. They even spoke the first known language, and most importantly, evidence of the first recorded writing. It's all on the tablets. Just like, we can talk about that. Let me finish here, all right? I took these notes, all right? I Googled this shit yesterday.
You sound like George from Vet Radio Syndicate that the Greeks invented everything. Like, what are we talking about? The Greeks
know, yeah. I mean, the Jews would think otherwise when you talk about this, Israel and all that stuff. But anyhow,
Hebrews.
Let's get back to my thing here, all right? So
unless they're really good friends, and then they're Hebrews.
So there's a lot of Sumerian artifacts that can be found in Iraq and everything, which basically describe how supposedly the entire world was created, okay? Supposedly there's even a Stargate portal that was discovered in 1920. Now, there are pictures of this portal online, and it's not fake. There is literally a stone, like, portal-looking thing, and Saddam had this whole thing, like, covered, and it was by an Air Force base. No idea. I don't know anything about the Stargate portal, but it exists. You guys can Google it right now if you want. All right. So fast forward, when we invaded Iraq, there was a lot of reports of looting and stuff, the museums, like it was all over the news, right? Like the museums were almost one of the first places that got hit. Okay. So there's tons of videos online and eyewitness accounts of people that were looting these museums, like with earpieces on and stuff, like almost like it was strategic. Like they were like destroying artifacts and then they were taking a bunch of artifacts and, like making them disappear, almost like we're trying to erase history, because a lot of the Sumerian teachings, if we followed those teachings, it would be completely different than what the Bible teaches us and all the other religions, okay? Because the Sumerians think that, we were genetically modified by the star people, which is also known as the Anunnaki, and that's a whole other conspiracy in itself, okay? Long story short, Anunnaki came here to mine gold, they created the Sumerians, blah, 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 and it goes on and on. But we're not gonna get into that. So my biggest question basically, pretty simple, right? There's a lot of history and stuff in Iraq. We know that. Okay, that is a fact.
Yeah, we blew that shit up.
Yeah. Was the
multiple times?
Multiple times. Did we go over there to confiscate some of these artifacts and kind of just erase that history, that part of history that is obviously completely different from what is taught now. Like, or was the Iraq war just about oil and stuff? But, you know, like, I don't know. So me personally, I think the Sumerian history is insane. All right. Like I spoke about some of the things that they've invented and stuff. And like I think Nick asked the question, how do we know how old it was, blah, 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 or if they were the ones that invented
Carbon dating.
Yeah, correct. I'm big into the ancient alien theory, okay, where I think that maybe aliens might have flown down here and fucking, you know, took like some monkeys and did some crazy shit, and then humans were there. So like, you know, that's a theory, man. Like,
Amanda says you've been watching too much freaking Ancient Aliens.
Yeah, I do watch Ancient Aliens like crazy. Okay, because I believe that there's a higher power. All right, so I'm not like atheist. I'm more like agnostic. I definitely believe that there's a higher power, but let's go back. Yeah, there's definitely
a little
aliens.
gray guy.
Right. The little gray guys. Yeah, the Anunnaki were really tall, though. They had like these long necks and stuff.
All right, let's get back on topic.
Let's stay on topic. Right. Thanks, Amanda, for throwing me off. I don't know. I don't think that we invaded Iraq. Well, yes, I do. I'd say 70. Yes, we went over there to like confiscate these artifacts and stuff, and that maybe there is a Stargate. Yeah, so 70, yes, we went over there for some stuff, and 30, absolutely not. So I'm going to say, yeah. There's the weapon of mass destruction might have been the Stargate.
Fucking possible.
Done deal, right?
Yeah. Maybe that's
right.
why. Maybe that's why, like, the American people just didn't understand what WMDs meant. Like, it's actually a fucking Stargate. Like
Stargate, man. Like, I just solved this on the, on the whim.
We just did it. We just did it. Thank you, Alex Jones.
Fucking C-130s up there right now. All right, Kenny, what are your thoughts, man?
Dude, you know, I haven't heard this theory before, but it makes a lot of sense, honestly.
I Googled it last night.
But hey, kudos to you. You're making a believer out of me right now.
Yeah.
You know, like running ops over there, I remember multiple accounts having to go and check out these random massive huts where they potentially thought weapons of mass destruction, but like we didn't have any information of what was inside that. And there was absolutely nothing, but potentially could have had something like that inside of it. I think it's possible more than anything.
I think definitely that there might have been some artifacts that they just don't want to show us, because I think we're kept in secrecy a lot with a lot of stuff that goes on in the world, and if some of these artifacts actually explain like a different point of view on how humanity was created and everything evolves like around our planet, like, and we're trying to erase that because everything else that we're taught to believe, like, I don't know, could be.
Yeah, like the thought process that everything started there, right? Being over there, you learn all the what they're taught in their country and what.
Correct.
Well, which is nothing. They're all illiterate.
That's also accurate too.
Yeah,
that's why God still runs that country, because they can't read.
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying possibility, whatever,
Yeah.
We'll take it from there. All right, buddy.
Currently, I have a whole note card.
Good job.
I'm
not talking about mermaids today. I'm not talking about monkey people.
So I remember when the first time I went to Iraq, you guys were probably we
weren't even in the army yet.
Yeah,
no, probably not. It was 0304. And
when I met you as an E2, you were a staff sergeant.
I was actually an E2. 38, I think, when I met you.
And when I became staff sergeant, you were still staff sergeant. But go ahead, buddy.
I was actually a private at that point. Like I'd gone back. But anyway, the first time I went there, we went down to Babylon and took like a sightseeing trip or whatever. Okay, and here's where the problem is with your we had to get told before we went in, hey, you're not allowed to buy any artifacts from the street vendors because they looted the museum. Selling them. So people were trying to get them.
Oh, 100%. I'm not denying that.
Yeah, but it was the Iraqis stole them, and we had people that were going there to try to get them, to give them back to the Iraqis. That was a real program that was going on. That being said, we went to the walls. We went to the walls of Babylon, the only part of the walls of Babylon that are still there are the ones that were underground, because the rest of them were taken by the Germans to Berlin, like in the 1920s. So,
That's when the Stargate portal was found.
Well, then why wouldn't have just taken that too?
I don't know.
Maybe they didn't find it.
I'm just saying, why did we wait like 80 years and be like, that Stargate portal, that we got a USB, we've got a USB plug that'll work for it now. We can charge it up. Like, let's go get that.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage finally figured it out, with the National Treasure.
Isn't there a movie called Stargate?
Yeah, Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
That's right.
I feel like everybody searches for the reason that we went to Iraq, and it's real simple. The Bushes had beef with Saddam.
Hate Saddam. Saddam tried to kill his father.
Yeah, I don't care how many people or trillions of dollars it takes. We're fucking this dude up. And they did. It's 100%. And in the meantime, they made a lot of money off of it. Like, a lot of people made a lot of money. So I think the answer to why is pretty simple. Let's see. And then you guys were talking about finding weapons of mass destruction. I always love when they talk about that, and people are like, "Yeah, we had to go look for," like you said, like we had to go look for do ops where we look for, like, what box are they in? Are they in a box that says WMD? Got a fucking house made of a weapon of mass destruction, and I would have walked.
Yeah, they're labeled. They're labeled.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, how many houses did walk into where they were making IDs and stuff, and we could, they were in holes under their fridge and shit. Yeah.
And if I did find a box that was labeled WMDs, A, it would have been in Arabic and I wouldn't have fucking known it. B, if I hadn't recognized it, I'd be like, what do we do with this?
Yeah, what
Let's
now?
shoot it. Who's got a 50 cal?
Fucking shoot it, yeah.
Okay. Good
Just
take,
don't
buddy.
take a picture of it. What do you mean? Don't pay attention to that SSE shit, because when you take pictures, that's how you get caught. So.
Good take, buddy. And let me real quick before we pass it over to Nick. Gotcha. That's wasn't why we invaded. And I maybe like Bush and stuff. I get that, like the beef. But what is your thought? Have you looked at like Sumerian history and stuff, and like their tablets and like what they talk about and stuff?
I have enough problem trying to figure out our history. I'm not fucking Sumerians.
Fair enough. It's not spoken about. That's the thing. It's not spoken about as much.
Something about history, I think you're just going to summarize some history for me. And
Yeah. Fair enough.
Then I'm lost.
Their shit's really interesting, and I'll talk about the Anunnaki next time. The Star People.
Ooh, the Anunnaki. That's the thing that we need.
Planet
to
X, Planet Nibiru. Yeah.
Ooh, man.
That's all Sumerian stuff. Yeah.
I was just shaking.
Oh, you just agreeing with
the
asshole.
It's called placating. I'm placating you right now.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Love you too. Anyway, all right, good take, Nick.
Yeah, for all of these, I'll give you the actual answer here, guys. So,
the whole combat theater is a toxic super site. All right, sorry, that's what.
Roger, Jeremy.
Gotcha. That's a mighty big word. Yeah, I don't use those.
We don't use those words.
Buddy acts stupid, but he's actually extremely intelligent.
Yeah, Brian is actually from the Appalachians. So, but here's what is really going on, because for all these conspiracies to exist, right? Remember, we have to agree that there's a world power, right? Otherwise, there's no way they could coordinate these conspiracies or have this type of control or do all this stuff. Like, there has to be a group of people sitting in a room saying, "Fuck that place." Okay, and it's the same thing as Al Qaeda, right? Once Al Qaeda is done with somebody, or the CIA is done using that person, right, all of a sudden we have this magical raid where we kill, like Delta goes in there, kills the guy, and everybody, the SEALs go in there, and it's like, how come we didn't kill this guy like 5 years ago? Well, because we weren't done fucking using him yet. All right, so here's what happened. We 100% went into Iraq to take over the Stargate, because we don't. I think it's because I don't know what we're going to use it for. All right, but we're
using it already.
We're probably already using it. But the world power is like, we kept it over here because Saddam, we had him on the payroll. The Germans tried to get it. Whatever, we took them out, and it's like now. What are we using it for? Okay, so that I think that's the real conspiracy. Is not that we went there. I think that's true. I think we went there to find this.
You
portal.
mentioned the Stargate last time. That's why,
Yeah.
that's what enticed me to talk about this one. Yeah.
And again, it's those ancient cultures where one of the biggest problems that I have with today's society is that they think like ancient cultures were stupid. And it's like,
Sumerians were super intelligent.
no, they fucking weren't stupid.
Yeah.
All right, I mean, look at we actually, the spiral minaret in Samara. Like they apparently they freaking came up with algebra like right there, and then they just stopped. I don't know.
Rob says we got the Stargate to go to other galaxies to fight aliens.
Yeah.
So we're already in an intergalactic war.
Right, exactly. Like, so the powers that be, like, if whether they were spawned by aliens or not, like, you think about all these Marvel movies. This shit, it's real. Like, it's real shit, guys.
I think more of the Star Wars look. Like that. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, pretty soon they're gonna have portals opening up, and then Anderson's gonna come back and he's gonna help us out with the portals. And
then he'll announce to humankind that we're part of the Galactic Federation. Yeah,
exactly. What's the Stargate? Come on, man. What's the Stargate? Just search it. We've already talked about it.
Google it.
Googleize it, or just watch Kurt Russell. He goes through the Stargate. But no, I live my life based off of movies, and it's Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Right. Like he told us all from the beginning that the Nazis were crazy about the occult and finding the Ark of the Covenant, finding these Stargates, because obviously
building UFOs.
Yeah. Like they got the rocket technology first. Where did they get that from? Mm-hmm. Right. And you think Albert Einstein thought of it? No, man, they're aliens, dude. Oh. So Hitler's an alien.
Who created NASA?
Yeah, but just 100% that we went into Iraq to find this freaking portal, and now that we have it, I hope we use it for good.
I like it.
Yeah, but okay, well
that settles that.
That settles that. I told you I'd give you the truth.
But I feel like I doubt we're gonna use it for good.
I mean. It depends on what your level of good is. Like,
ETT throw punch Monday. I'm an alien now.
Dave is an alien.
Yeah.
So, well, hey, welcome, Len. That's Len watching. I don't know who's controlling that admin today, but whatever. I hope that show gets kicking off again, Len. It's been 5 months since you did one. But okay, let's get into the Book of Earl. Now, this is, again, I kind of spoiled it with, giving you truth already, but this is, again, will be the most important part of your week. Pay attention to it, write it down, live by it, swear by it, and then everything will be okay. But actually, I'm going to caveat off of Buddy's honesty cap last week and kind of going off of what I said a couple weeks ago, about, you can do whatever you want to make yourself happy. Like, that's fine, but nobody else has to accept it. Like, none. All right, nobody has to accept your shit. Okay. Here's what we'll caveat off the Bud Light thing that Buddy was all triggered about, and Dave doesn't understand. He's trying to start some drama, saying, "Why are people getting triggered by a beer can?" Right? It's not the beer can. It's the fact that somebody was fucking dumb enough to put it on a Bud Light can. All right, because now
that's
it's
their problem, though.
But exactly, and it is their fault. They're hurting from it now. So if you're paying attention to the news, the VP of marketing is taking a leave of absence. She gone. Okay,
is he really? Because
she you sexist. All right, and then however the
can't be canceled right now.
All right,
me out of everybody, right?
And then Bud Light Anheuser just hired 2 consultants, one that worked for Trump and the other worked for Ted Cruz, to make sure that they get back on the right track, right? Like, weird, okay? And so, again, yeah, you shouldn't get triggered over the Bud Light can, but I think, again, you could put the conspiracy on this as well, to where, are they trying now to target to see what would happen if they did that? Like, hey, what would the response of, the middle-class white males be? And like I talked about a couple weeks ago, if you don't have the support of the middle-class white male in America, you're probably not going to get too far. Okay? Like, I know it sucks for some of you, but that's just the way it is. And again, I'll talk about this now. What I was saying before is we are in a mental health crisis in America. All right? We are in a mental health crisis around the world. And if you've heard me talk before on the Big Earl, you got to look at things as a system. There isn't one answer. There isn't a linear approach to this. There's a billion things that come into it. All right. And that's why and I want to get into a little bit about veteran trash talk again. That's why we started this, is that we don't have the answers to everything. In fact, I probably don't have the answers to 99% of your fucking problems. All right. But it's like, I might have the answer to something Dave's got going on wrong. Dave might have the answer for something that I got going on. Kenny might have the answer for something. But if the community gets bigger, somebody might have the damn answer. All right. But the main thing that we preach here, and I think the reason why we've blown up so fast, is we don't let you get away with saying, I am a victim of PTSD. I am a victim. We don't allow that at Veteran Trash Talk. Right? We acknowledge the fact that those things 100% do exist. I mean, we'd be dumb as shit to say it's not, because I'm crazy as fuck. Right. And like, Buddy's crazy. Right. Like we got our little twerks and things and our demons, we call them on Veteran Trash Talk. Our demons are inside of us. We own them. All right. So this goes back to the whole transgender crap. Right. Transgender people are mentally fucking handicapped. All right. Mentally handicapped. It's that simple. Okay. And I hope that cutting your dick off makes you happier. I really do. All right. But you don't get to play against my daughter in sports. Right? Like, I don't have to accept that. I don't have to accept that at all. Like, I think you're a clown. Okay? So, again, the Book of Earl, pretty simple. All right? We are in a mental health crisis. One of the million problems is we are now in the news and in society.
Real quick, Jeremy said he's a victim of tacos.
Yes. Dude, I was thinking about that today. I wish I could give Jeremy stars right now. Yeah, Jeremy. I am a victim of tacos too. I'm in El Paso. It's crazy. So like, I put on a little bit of weight since I retired because these fucking tacos, right? They're that good. But yeah, that's a good comment. So the mental health crisis is not getting helped by society or by the media because we are actually justifying mental health issues. All right, we're justifying people being crazy. Like, we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to help them. We're not supposed to justify their behavior. And this goes for the veterans out there, right? When you have PTSD and you have your symptoms of PTSD, which are all different for lots of different people, and this is a good segue into what Kenny's got going on. All right? Your PTSD isn't the same as mine, all right? And it's just a blanket term for a bunch of other things. You own that shit, all right? That's yours. Okay, nobody else has to deal with me being an asshole. Dave does all the time. But like, you don't have to deal with me being an asshole. That's not your responsibility. All right. And I don't get to say I have PTSD. I'm sorry. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay. Own your shit. All right. Stop justifying the bad aspects of, the mental health crisis, justifying it, coddling it. All right. No. It's, hey, we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to get better. All right, so that's what I got for the Book of Earl. Anybody got any comments on that?
I do. I think you're right, and I think the problem is, one of the problems, there's many of them, but one of the problems is that we attribute freedom to being able to do whatever you want with no consequences. Like, you're free to do whatever you want, but you also have to bear the responsibility of the consequences of your actions. Like, you can, it's like the people that are like, oh, this guy found out that his daughter was being molested and he killed the guy that was molesting his daughter. Okay, cool. Like, at the end of the day, the consequences of his actions, he's fine with them. Like, he's like, I'm good with that. Like, I'm good with, you want to send me to prison for life? Cool. Like, gladly. Like, I'll bear whatever consequence comes because I know that there's a consequence, but I know that dude's going to die. Like, and it's going to take a while and it's going to hurt. There'd be a lot of pain. It would definitely, but it would be like, I would go to court and be like, yeah, I did it.
I've thought about that though. I don't know, like then, because then you're gone from your kids the rest of your life. Like if the guy got locked up forever, like I'd want to kill him for sure, but then like now I'm missing my child's life forever.
That's all right. Because at the end of the day, she would know that somebody was there, and
100%
wouldn't have to deal with like, oh, nobody Nobody did anything for me. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that did.
I'm not going to talk about murder anymore.
Anyway, that being said, like
let's not talk about murder because we actually have to. In case we actually have to do it now, we're incriminating ourselves. So
if you want to be, if you want to be a transvestite, you want to change from your one sex to the other sex, that's fine. You have the freedom to do that. But nobody 100%. Else has the. But you have to bear the responsibility of nobody agreeing with you.
Yeah, like, you're not really a girl.
Yeah, like you want to play dress up, or you want to like put on a wig or whatever, and then try out for a girls' swim team or softball team or football, whatever team. Like, no, like we're not, as a society, we have to grab our proverbial nuts and say, nope, not gonna be a thing. And I don't care if it hurts your feelings. Like, your feelings aren't the priority. The priority is to have a fair competition between girls or women and a fair competition between men. If you can't hack it on the guy's side, then either don't play or do what every other dude.
Yeah, be a nerd. Become a computer nerd. You make more money now anyways.
Yeah, people train their entire lives for this. The one that really got me was the swim team, that girl for like the scholarships and everything.
Yeah, that's my Halloween costume this year.
Because like personally, I'm like buddy. Like if one of you guys came like, Dave, man, I'm gonna transition, dude. I'll be your biggest supporter, homie. I got you. You do what you want to do, But the way they try to shove it down,
with my daughter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just the way it's being shoved down our throats, just as much as they want us to accept them, they can't be telling us that we have. Like it's just a double standard.
Well, exactly. That's what
I don't understand.
That's what I was going to get into. Is I think I always bring up the bell curve. I think if you're far right or far left, you're sick in the head as well. Like you have a disease. All right. The problem with the disease on the left is it's a much bigger one. Okay. There's a lot more people on the left than there are on the far right. Okay. And that it is a disease. And that, like you're saying, Dave, the majority of the middle class, the middle people, the ones that are centric, the actual centrics, not like Mike Levine. I hope you're watching, Mike, but you're not a centrist. You're a lefty. Okay. Like,
what up, Mike?
Yeah. He puts that as centrist on Twitter, but all he does is post shit about Republicans. Right. And it's like, whatever. You're sick in the head if you're a leftist. Okay. You're sick in the head if you're a rightist. Like you're sick. Okay. If you think that like there's a greater race, if you're on the far right and you're like a fucking Nazi, like you're a horrible person. Yeah. Okay. And there's something wrong in your head. If you're on the far left, like the real far left, and you think it's okay that, some dude is crushing women's records in sports, you're fucking crazy. Yeah. Like there's something wrong in your head. And here's the problem. They want that disease to spread. So they are going to force it on you. Right. Or like they are going to say, no, you have to accept this. But no, we don't.
What's the end state though? Like, what's the purpose?
They don't have an end state. They're unhappy. They want everybody else to be sick around them.
If you notice, the end state is to push the line, get people to be okay with it, and then push the line and push the line and push the line.
Continue pushing the line.
And then when people argue about it and say, no, like I can remember, 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago when people were like, hey, if we allow, I think it was gay marriage at the time. They were like, oh, if we allow gay marriage, then we have to allow, what are we going to allow people to marry dogs and people to marry like whatever? Well, and everybody argued it. And I was with the argument of, well, that's kind of a stupid slippery slope. Like that's dumb. Like,
you can't even compare it in that sense. Like,
well, hold on. 20 years later, there are people marrying fucking zombie dolls and fucking dogs and goddamn cats and cars and all this other bullshit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you got your social.
And that's where I come in then. Like I am zero, like not affected like that much by any of that shit that goes on. It doesn't affect me.
It doesn't affect you yet.
Yeah,
of course. Like Buddy just spoke about how like
as a society where we need to be strong and progressing, we don't want to regress. And actually, like I said, we've already covered this 1,000 times on the show. The hypocritical part of trust the science that you don't know what a fucking dude is, right? Like, stop, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just
and
stop.
that's how we got to. That's how we got to that point. Is that we've been like we've allowed people to cloud everybody's logic to the point that now we don't even know what a man or a woman are. But you can't define either of those are non-definable at this point, right?
Right.
But the problem is,
Well, they are just not by the crazies.
Well, here's the thing. The problem is that, like, Dave, you're agnostic, so you're like, yeah, it doesn't affect me, right? Well, but it does affect people that are religious, right? Whether you're
oh yeah, I have buddies that are offended by my thought, which you're a fucking asshole to think that, you know, like not you, but like.
But here's the thing.
Like I don't hate on other people's religions.
Whether you're Islamic, whether you're a Baptist, a Catholic, a Protestant, whatever, right? Well, here's the thing. Marriage, by definition, is a religious ceremony.
It is.
Right?
Marriage is Latin, is the Hebrew in Latin text is sex.
Yeah, but because it means that you're now able to have sex in the eyes of God, right?
Right.
So it's a religious ceremony. Well, when you put the word, because words have meaning, when you put that word into something that religions don't, and the government, which is a non-religious organization, says, well, you can get married. Well, then you're offending all of those people because you didn't even ask the people who it actually affects, right?
Yeah, so and this is a whole other show. This could be a whole other show.
Yeah.
All right. If you don't believe in gay people getting married, cool. Let them call it something.
And if you just tuned in, I have no problems with gay people getting married. But he was not talking to me. Well, you just tuned in.
I'll do the segue to Kenny here.
I actually have several gay friends.
Yeah. I have a gay friend. Yeah, it's typical. Yeah, I'm not racist. I got a black friend. Yeah. So I listen to Tupac.
What I did there, that was good, huh? That was good, huh?
No. Not only do I not have a problem with gay people.
We all know Buddy. Like we're good at this.
People were getting over by not.
Now he's yelling again, and we can't hear him.
Your microphone's not picking up your triggerness.
You're gay.
Yeah,
Chris, you're gay, so now you don't have to deal with all the bullshit that married people have to deal with. You guys can just hang out and like go do fun things, and then when it doesn't work out, you guys can just go your separate ways without like a lawyer getting involved. Oh fuck that! You need all of it.
Yeah, you get all that legal dick now. And shout out to the Kings, all right, because we got Monica watching. She knows that I'm all for the boys, right? And I'm glad that the men are taking over every female record, all right, because I think we deserve it. I think obviously we won Woman of the Year, all right. Caitlyn Jenner's a man. Okay, I think Miss Puerto Rico's a dude. So like now we're winning beauty pageants, and we're breaking all the swim records. Like,
it's a great time to be.
Yeah, it is a great time to be a king. All right, like we are just destroying things. And check out that soccer player. that soccer player, right? The soccer player that signed everything over to his mom.
This is why our YouTube following is not high.
I know. You guys are tracking that soccer player that's worth $70 million. Oh, yeah. Well, his mom.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Yeah, we did. Talk about it. The fucking Kings are winning. She's going to have to pay him alimony because technically he's not worth shit.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Okay, but anyways, so obviously, as you can tell if you're watching it for the first time, we are all mentally handicapped. Okay, like we have problems, right? And that's where Kenny comes in, okay? Because Kenny has started a nonprofit, and I believe it's up in Oregon, and it takes veterans, first responders, people struggling with their demons to the outdoors bike riding. And I went on your website a few times, and it is phenomenal. It looks super freaking awesome, and I could really, really see the benefit, and I can't wait to hear how you got it started, why you got it started, how people can give you money, all that good stuff. But let's just get down to it. I like Kenny right away because he's the first guy, all right, to actually put in his bio that he was in a CAV unit.
Yeah.
All right. So a lot of times we have to dig into it to find out what their service was and what they did. But he was actually proud of being in a CAV.
Once they know we were all infantry, it's like, oh, I wasn't CAV. I was. Just don't talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, we all know you weren't airborne because that would have been the first thing out of your mouth. But it's, we're better. But welcome,
brother.
Welcome to the dumpster fire. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on, your service, or talk about whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. Hey, so appreciate having me on. Unfortunately, fortunately, I was an infantryman in the cav unit. Mechanized. It worked out pretty well.
Death before dismount.
Exactly. All those fun things. Hey, but we got really big guns to shoot, so that made it worth it, I guess.
Yeah, nothing says suicide prevention like having a song about shooting yourself at the end. What the fuck?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Apparently, Dave and Bucket Nick were never in any cav worlds.
No,
you didn't have to memorize their Gary Owen.
We did. We're 86.
Gary Owen thing. And
What they have? They have a
ride.
cav song that for the combat spurs that you have to kill yourself at the end.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would explain. That would explain fucking 3-core. Yep.
Yeah, it is. I got that song. Like I got there and they were like, "Oh, we have to go on the spur ride." And I was like, "Well, what's that?" They like explained it to me, and then I like they're like, "And you have to memorize this little poem song thing." And I started reading it, and I was like, "I'm not doing this. Like, what the fuck are you talking?" The dude killed himself at the end. What are we talking about? Really?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're still here, Kenny. I'm glad you didn't follow the code to Fiddler's Green or whatever.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why Forehead is the way it is now, I guess. People kind of taking that to heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to 3-core. You suck. Yeah.
Floor's yours, brother. Floor's yours.
All right. So, so infantry did 4 years back in, let's see here, 06 to 2010. I got out and like you guys said, man, had my demons to deal with for like 10 years and try to figure life out outside of that, jump from job to job and just trying to figure life out and get things going in a healthy manner. Right. So, I ended up in the summer of 2021, getting back onto a mountain bike I used to as a kid, dorking around, trying to stay out of trouble, building sketchy jumps and having fun. Right. Started riding bikes and then kind of dove off the deep end and was riding and racing my bike that whole summer of 2021. And leading into that, I had some major cognitive issues. Unfortunately, fortunately, I was in a Bradley, but we were hit by an IED and I had a massive TBI from that. And so the cognitive issues I have from that kind of are worse now than they were back then. So I was missing a lot throughout my day and just mentally kind of just not doing things right. So my doctor kind of suggested I need to get into a hobby. And so I started riding my bike again. And that summer completely 180 flipped my life around. So I kind of went to the drawing boards after that and talked to my wife and said, okay, this helped me this much in just 1 year, like not even a full year, 3 months. It's got to be beneficial for the whole community in some manner. And so I kind of sat on it over the winter and just tried to think of a way to bring mountain biking into the veteran world and try to help others out in some manner. And really couldn't figure it out. And my wife said, just start something and work from there and figure it out.
Go for it.
Just go for it.
Just send it.
Yeah, right. Just send her. Adapt and overcome. And that's essentially what I've been doing. I'm starting to kind of really get things honed in now that I've been doing it for almost a year. And so our main goal is basically to rebuild the community in the veteran, even active duty, right? But building that community that you have while you're in. And after you get out, a lot of us all kind of struggle with that, losing your community. Like you're in, especially infantrymen, like you have that day in and day out camaraderie, and then you don't have that when you get out and you miss it. So rebuilding that and then giving people a challenge and purpose again. Mountain biking in its own is challenging. Even me, who's been riding for years, it's still challenging. And someone who's brand new to it, like obviously super challenging. And then it gives them a purpose to try something and become something great again. So our main goal is community challenge purpose. And we are now having veterans across the nation. We have groups, like I'm here in Oregon. We have groups, Oregon, Washington, California, Idaho, Montana,
Nice.
Utah. And then literally up and down the East Coast. We actually had one of our biggest group rides in Rhode Island today. A bunch of them have been texting me. They had like 16 veterans out for that one ride. Next weekend, I'm actually flying out to North Carolina to help out with an event we have out there. We have like 22 veterans that are going to show up for that one.
Where is that at, North Carolina?
It's going to be outside of Hendersonville, out by Mount Pisgah.
Okay.
Mount Pisgah area. There's a trail network and a group, Ride Canuga. They're graciously going to donate all of our entry fees for free. And so any veteran that shows up for that gets to get in for free for that one, and come in and ride with us. So we're very fortunate that we've had the support that we've had from other avenues, but it's more so to get that community back together and to show them, like, outside of talk therapy, which is pushed for a lot of people, and it works for a lot of people. I did it for a little bit, and then it just really wasn't for me. Riding my bike is by far the best therapy for me. I guess the hot word is adjunct therapy, right? Getting outdoors, being outdoors, it's proven to be better for your mental state as well as being active, right? Being active, working out, honing in on that quick reaction recall helps your neurocells and all that. So all these things combined together help the community and the individual veteran as well as the community as a whole. We're watching friendships grow where people wouldn't have met outside of this, our events and or like our groups that people get together or communicate through us. And then they're getting together and they're again having that community even outside of our rides and building friendships outside of that.
And that's what I was going to hit on real quick. So like talk to the audience a little bit or explain to them what these events look like. So like obviously you guys get together, you go on these courses or whatever, you ride your mountain bikes, and then like what happens afterwards? Like you guys get together, like do you like talk about that a little bit?
So now that we're now it's spread outside of not necessarily my control, but my area. We have individuals that have stepped up to lead that area. For instance, like this North Carolina group, right? We have 2 guys out there that are leading the charge, right? So they set a date, set a location, and then give me the information, and we kind of post it on our social media. People show up for the ride, and it's at your skill level. We're not going to expect someone to go down like the gnarliest thing ever that they've ever seen. Like you watch Red Bull Rampage on YouTube, we're not going to expect you to do something like that. Like I'm not going to try to do some shit like that. That's insane.
I'll do it.
I'll do it. I was about to say I'll do it. I'll
die tomorrow. Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll bury you out there.
We went skiing real quick. We went skiing, didn't we, Nick? And like
I almost died.
I hadn't done it like 15 years, or what about 10 years? And we went down the diamond. Nick's like, let's do this, Dave. I'm like, you're crazy. I think we were the only 2. You did really well because apparently you skied a lot. But I went down the diamond trail. I'm like, ah.
No, but so I go up to the top of this. Yeah. I mean, not to like take away from your thunder, but I go up to the top of this. Yeah. I go up to the top of this mountain. Yeah. Right. Like I'm on top of it. Right. And I'm in blue jeans and like a winter coat.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm looking straight down. Like
I was there too.
And I know how to do this. Like in my head, I'm like, I know how to navigate this to get down through this black diamond, this triple black diamond. Yeah. Like I know how to do this. Like I've done it before, but like not in like 20 something fucking years. Right. And so the first hop I take, because you got to jump down it as it's steep. So the first hop I take, I just go all the way down the freaking mountain. And like it took me like 2.5 hours like just to find a ski, you know. And like by the time I got down to the shed, I'm like, I need whiskey. Whiskey now.
That was fun.
Yeah. So yeah, we're not gonna do that, right? That's not what we're doing. Okay.
Nah, so
I'll still do it.
Yeah, right. So we meet people like at their skill level, and then it's not it's most of our rides are what us mountain bikers call enduro or downhill. So more of a gravity fed type riding. Obviously you pedal up as a group and then you gravity fed trails down, but there's disciplines all across like road cycling, gravel riding, cross country. If that's those things you're into, like we facilitate the outlet for you to get a group together and go do that. So we facilitate at least 1 monthly ride is our goal in each area. Nice. You do your ride together, you know, share your jokes, laughs, whatever you guys want to share on your ride together and enjoy that time and that experience and build that camaraderie together. Post ride, I mean, generally we all kind of hang out the truck, and just BS afterwards. And some people go get a meal together, some don't. Like obviously people have lives outside of this, so go back to their families and whatnot. But ideally, the goal is to continue that friendship and camaraderie with each other. So there's a lot of people that like get numbers and hang out post rides, or like, hey, on a whim, I'm going to go ride here. Does anyone want to come with? It doesn't necessarily have to be one of our events. And then we also have a race team that we launched this year. We have 60 people across the nation and all different disciplines. Like I said, cross country, gravel, road, enduro, downhill. So we have all these people that we're trying to help support and get them out riding and racing and just helping spread the word of what we have going on for other veterans to see, and that it's benefiting them in a positive way.
Now, when you're racing, do you wear the tights?
Nah, I'm not one of those. I wear what like
Nick will be out there immediately. He likes men in tights.
Yeah, that's a great movie. No, but like, does your race team wear the tights?
No, so actually, here I have it sitting right here. So we actually just have our brand new race jersey that we just came out with. It's loud and obnoxious.
I like that.
Nice.
Yeah. So like our race team is wearing that. It's a loose fit jersey, long sleeve jersey, and then
I think you should go with leotards. Yeah, I like that. like wrestling singlets.
Yeah.
Does this cost anything? Well, I was going to ask. Does this cost anything for the events that are joining, like on your specific get-togethers or whatever?
Yeah, no, 100% free to veterans.
Nice.
Any event, and if a veteran doesn't have a bike, we do our best to try to facilitate getting them on a bike. I'm currently.
But they don't know how to ride a bike.
Oh, stop, Dave! All right, come on.
We got a lot of Marines that are watching.
That's true. That's true. What if they try to eat the tire?
What if they eat the tire?
It's not a black crayon.
Shout out to you jarheads watching. I love all of you.
Yeah. Don't eat the tire.
Yeah, no, we do our best.
Yeah, buddy's still yelling. Can't understand him.
Yeah.
So we do our best. Like I am a certified coach. So people that are up in our area, I could legally and safely coach them to get up to speed quick and be able to keep up with the group. And we have other riders that are also certified coaches, and our goal is to kind of in each area have someone eventually that is certified for those type of instances. We're trying to work with companies to kind of work on like getting demo bikes out. That was part of the thing at the ride today in Rhode Island. A local bike shop came out to help support them and brought some demo bikes just in case.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's that? Can you got the name of that or no? Give a little bit of love.
Yeah, so there was the Trek Bikes out in Rhode Island. I can't remember the specific name right
Trek
now.
Bikes.
Yeah, the Trek Bike shop in Rhode Island. They came out, and sorry, I don't remember their specific name.
You good? You can if you ever get it, just shoot it to us. We'll blast it out. Yeah, that's what's up.
So they came out and helped out huge for that ride. And so we're very fortunate that we've gotten the support of the mountain bike community as a whole, and the love and support for the veteran community as well.
So what's your long-term vision? You want to do it all across the country?
Yeah, that's what I kind of like. Yeah, I'm on that kind of thought too, Dave. Is like what as a 501c, like what can if the veteran trash talk community for some reason there's somebody watching that wants to give you a butt ton of money, like where does that go? What does that do?
1,000 all money just dives right back into our programs. So like I was saying, we do our monthly rides in each region, and helping promote those rides and getting supplies to those people in those rides. Our race program, helping promote or getting gear, parts, help pay for race fees, even travel to and from races or lodging. Nice. Any money that we get, and then we also have what we call Bikes to Vets program. We actually entirely donated a bike parts to a veteran in Atlanta earlier this year. Only through the veteran community. That was not like donations from bike shops or anything like that. Like we put a post out, like a veteran's bike broke, he's looking for some help, and we had an outpour from the veteran community as a whole to just donate. Like we had one guy donate a complete brand new frame, fork, like the suspension, brakes, handlebars, grips, like the entire bike, and it was entirely free to this veteran. And so we are taking that idea and essentially I have a bike sitting out in my garage right now that I'm slowly building up and trying to get parts for. So another part of our programming is that as well.
So then I go with what Dave asked, like, what's the future? What's the next step? And like, how do people donate to you? And then two, like I said, where do you want to grow into? What's the long term, like Dave asked?
Yeah, long term, obviously, we want to have regions or chapters, whatever you want to call them, in every state, and being able to help any veteran in their state, right? So they don't have to try to travel super far to try to get to an event. And also being able to supply each area with bikes so that they have them on hand. If a veteran reaches out and says, "Hey, I'm struggling, I need a bike to come out and do it," that's at their beck and call. And just getting the community, veteran community together, really, especially post separation, is huge for us.
Right. And so how do they donate to you? Where do they, what's the website?
So our website is soldiersonsingletrack, all one word, .org. We also have a Venmo and a PayPal, and you can find both of those under the charities side. It is SOSMTB.
Kenny, once you get a few $1,000s saved up in your donation, can I interest you in a slightly used Stargate?
Gonna cost a little bit more than a couple grand, buddy.
Not the one
Buddy hid it in his top box when he left Iraq.
Yeah, when he left.
When he slayed the king.
How did you make it out of Kuwait? Buddy, how did you make it out of Kuwait with that thing in your top box, man?
I paid with some of. I sent them on a tour of an alien planet.
Oh, yeah, right.
Back, and they were like,
Covered it with the
don't
whoopee.
worry about it.
Done deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually put in a box, and I clearly marked it not a Stargate. And
do not open not a Stargate.
Do not open. Definitely,
everything's legal in here. Trust me.
Here is legal.
Not an interdimensional transportation device.
No contraband.
Hey,
worry about that.
Anti-contraband box.
Yeah,
Kenny, I'll leave it with another question with you. Because, kind of your vision is what we have for Veteran Trash Talk, and hopefully soon we'll have our first hard stand structure of where people can get together. And we don't want to replace the VFW, but the VFW didn't listen to us. What we do. Actually we do, buddy. Yeah. So we want to replace the VFW because although we love our Vietnam veterans more than anything in the world, they were our first biggest audience when we started this page. It's the GWAT population is coming. Right, and we don't want spaghetti dinners and Busch Light.
They don't either, though.
I know they don't. I know, it's just it's fucking boring. Okay, and so we're gonna try to create the new VFW, and where people can hang out. And our idea is to have businesses like yours, like their QR codes on the wall. So hey, are you a mountain biker? Bam, QR code right there. All right, these guys are doing awesome shit in these 16 cities, whatever. So yeah, I love that idea. And like I said, the best part of Veteran Trash Talk is the fact that we get to meet people like you. We get to meet all kinds of these nonprofits and these things. And right away when you started talking about your cognitive, issues with the TBI. One of our first guests was Dr. Juan from Waven Neuroscience. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
I have.
Yeah. And so I'm actually going to see him next week.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, which is going to be really cool.
I see him on Facebook occasionally.
Have you reached out to him ever?
No,
Reach out to him because guess what? You get a free trip to Newport Beach, California.
He'll take care of you, man.
And you get to stay in the beach house and then they put all those magnets and shit on your brain and
that dude's a solid fucking dude, man.
Dude, he's fine. Yeah. He worked for NASA too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And they
probably got all the magnets from the Stargate.
From the Stargate and the Germans.
We are just solving it all today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Weapons of mass destruction. We're actually the Stargate.
We also ought to hook him up with Colin from the Warrior Ride Foundation too. That might be
Oh yeah. Well, I'm actually.
We'll have to talk after the show.
Yeah, after the show, because I'm thinking about. I think the back of your jersey should say "Quit being a triggered pansy." Yeah, Veteran Trash Talk. So we'll sponsor it.
Or Gruntworks on there. Yeah.
Well, that's
or something like if you're reading this.
That's what I'm saying. Quit being a triggered pansy.
That's probably a lot.
Pedal harder. Right,
that's perfect.
Why are you so slow?
Why are you so slow?
Yeah, that's our signature shirt. Is the "Quit being a triggered pansy." So, but yeah, so that I guess I still have not asked you the question that I was leading into, but yeah, like when you get to this point, like, do you got any stories of like a success story where veterans have come by because we already know this, especially people with common sense is. isolation is one of the biggest factors to suicide, whether you're a veteran or not. Like you start to coach yourself that you're the only one that thinks a certain way, right? And it's like then you start becoming depressed. Have you ever seen that where, you know, in your rides where people come out and you just see a connection and then you see like, you know, growth and healing? Just give us a story about that.
Oh man, like we have way too many of those to be 100% honest.
Pick your
like
best one.
Share one, brother. Share one.
Okay.
You don't have to name any names or anything.
Let's see here. Actually, well, part of it is so one of our guys here locally used to ride mountain bikes as a kid and just didn't do it. And my very first event, he showed up and didn't have a bike, and I let him borrow actually my daughter's bike. So it was a little too small for him, but he chugged along and just did it, and like he got hooked. He was kind of dealing with his own demons at that point, and since then he's been on every ride that I've had in Oregon since. He over the winter, like he unfortunately is going through a divorce and is just dealing with his own stuff, and like you said, self-isolation. And then he's got his own business he's running, but he is taking a step back from bikes. And like here in Oregon, we can't really ride during the winter because it's so wet and gross. So
chickens.
Yeah. But
snow tires on.
I still do it, but
put some chains on those bikes,
right? Like I'll still go out. I'll get all muddy and gross. I don't care. But a lot of people don't like it. But we had a ride come up actually a couple months ago. I had to cancel the ride just because it started like dumping snow and hail. But we had a group meet up at a brewery, and I knew he wasn't coming to the ride, but I still called him.
Think of my language.
And I called him. I said, "Hey, come out to this. Like, come out and just hang out. Like, there's no reason to not come out. We're not riding bikes. Just come out and hang out." And him coming out, he like saw the group again, and it like reinvested him into the group. And to watch him kind of come in, kind of on a low and leave on an extreme high. And he said, "Thank you so much for inviting me. Like, this changed my entire day, my entire outlook. I'm 1000% back in. Like, next ride, I'm coming out 100%.
That's all it takes, man.
Yeah. And it's just those little things. Like you get, it's hard in from my position. I am so invested in every single person that I've tried or that has reached out for our program. I am trying my best to be individually invested, but it's grown so much. It's gotten so hard. So, but being tuned in on those type of things, when people are starting to self-isolate and reminding them that group is still available and other people are there to help and support them. And I think it's changing lives on a daily basis. I really, truly believe that.
I love
absolutely.
It.
Yeah.
This
absolutely.
is like this episode. This is our therapy, you know?
Yeah.
Well, Buddy doesn't require therapy because he was on a spiker on deployments in a bus.
Yeah, he had a bus. They had three different bus lines.
Ooh.
While Nick and I were getting mortared every day, getting shot at, you know. But it's fine, buddy.
Actually
So,
fighting
like,
the war.
Buddy's PTSD might have come from because like the chow hall ran out of bread or something, or one night they didn't do midnight chow.
Let's be perfectly honest. The reason
the bus route changed, or you know, like
let's be perfectly honest. The reason Buddy went special forces was because he was the only guy in 2P to never shoot his rifle. So he was like, I really got to find a way to get into this shit, you know. And so
they got pissed off. They were like,
no, but this is our therapy every Saturday. Even Buddy's therapy.
On purpose. I just needed some excitement.
Yeah, and it's okay. Like, oh man, Daniel Booger, God rest his soul. I went on R&R with him, and we're sitting there, and there's like this major, and then there's like this private, and then like a specialist on this bus line that I'm like, there's a fucking bus line here. And actually we're on the yellow bus line, not the green one. We're going to Salsa tonight, right? So like we're on the bus line, and this sir, did you hear that mortar round landed right outside the gate? You know, and yeah, scary. And like she's like, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And Danny's a staff sergeant at the time, you know, good leader, 2 Purple Hearts already.
One of the best. Danny is one of the best human beings. Just like yeah.
And like, so he's sitting there and I can see him starting to get fucking agitated. Right. And I'm sitting there like, I was like, and I'm just like a specialist, you know, I'm like, hey, Sergeant, like, it's cool, man. Like, these people suck, you know, like, don't worry about it. And then then we stop, and then people get on, and this major kind of realizes that Danny's not happy with this conversation, right? And this major is actually I'm a big fan of him now because of the way he handled this. But then other people get on, and it's a sergeant major, right? And then there's a couple of E7s, and the sergeant major's like, "Where are you guys going?" We're like, "Hey, Sergeant Major, we're just headed up to get some Pizza Hut or something. We don't know. We've never been on a fucking base like this, you know." We're like, "Well, go get some pizza." And he says, "Well, you know, those boots are pretty, and the uniform is pretty disgusting." You know, it just says that to Danny.
That's a Warhorse too.
Yeah, and this major goes, "Hey, Sergeant Major," he's like, "I think you should just go sit down over there." He's like, he goes, "These guys obviously are fighting a different fight than we are over here." And I was like, "That guy's a fucking G." That major rules.
That happened at Warhorse.
Yeah. Yeah.
They wouldn't let us in the chow hall because we were dirty. Like the MP stopped us and said, "You can't come in here looking like this." We're like, "We're only here for 1 hour. We're here for 1 hour, and then we're going to go back and live out in that city for the next week and a half." And then Captain Goldtree, man, and Chavez just, it was. We went and ate, but then
we got our food.
We were filthy though.
That happened. That happened to us on to Crit at one point. This is what I missed the bus, so I was late getting there.
I was going to say, yeah.
That happened. That happened to us in Crit at one point, and then we reminded the guard at the chow hall that we had live ammunition.
Yeah, it's like, you see that? You got.
We got.
These are real.
We got.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell this story over time because I mean we're getting off topic here, and but my favorite in Bakuba when they attached. Were you in Bakuba, Kenny, with your units?
No, I was inner city Baghdad both deployments.
Okay. Yeah. So we had the 6-9 Cav was there, and the Dragoons. So whatever they were called, but they wanted a female to come with us. So if they had to search females, you know, when we're going on these raids, and her name was Good Soldier. She was Native American.
She was gangster, dude.
Yeah, and she's like, "Are you guys putting face paint?" We're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because it fucking psychs us up and fucking it's awesome." Yeah, I'm like,
have you ever?
Have
you ever seen the look on somebody's face when it's 2:00 in the morning and you're looking in there, like you look down,
and you just got fucking stripes on your face.
You just got everywhere, and you're like, "Hey, you should wake up." And they're like,
and I was like, "Do you want some?" She's like, "Yeah." So I started fucking, marking her up, and she was all gangster to go. And then she's got this M16 with a 203 on it, and she's like, I'm like, "Are you a 203 gunner?" She's like, "No, this is what they gave me," and I'm like, she's like, I'm like, do you have any rounds? And I just got promoted to E5, so now I have to do my PCIs, And I was like, "Do you have any rounds?" She's like, "No, they didn't give me any rounds." And I'm like, "What?" And then she had like 3 dummy 203 rounds, like the training rounds. Right? And I go, "Where the fuck do you think we're going?"
Yeah, this isn't training.
This is like, we're about to go into Bakuba. Yeah, this is it's just about to get hot. So I was like, all right, here's 3 magazines. I was like, don't shoot unless we fucking just shoot, point the gun in the same direction everybody else is. Kind of like the old Black Hawk.
She hustled though. She got after it.
When we're shooting that way, you shoot that way too. So I was like, and then I'll throw you a couple of 2 or 3 rounds if we get into it. But yeah. We got way off topic there, telling our war stories, but with the therapy. But no, Kenny, it was fucking awesome having you on. I knew I don't bike, but I'm not the kind of person like we were talking about earlier in the show where all of a sudden I don't
like bikers. Know how to ride a bike.
I don't like bikers. Like it's when I saw it, like this seems like something that could be really awesome for the veteran community. Like really awesome. Like get out there and go ride. And I'm going to get on the horn with Ryan at 10th Mountain Whiskey, which I've been drinking their potato vodka today. All right. So out in Vail, Colorado.
Must be nice, Nick.
Yeah. I mean, you guys just got to order it. But
we're all shout out to 10th Mountain. I love
shout out to 10th Mountain. Right. They
our states are dumb. So like Nick just gets all the orders and we're sponsored by them. We love you guys 10th Mountain Whiskey because you've been with us since the jump.
Yeah,
Nick just gets
good.
loaded up. Yeah,
it's really good. We just drank
good.
a bottle. We just drank a bottle of cordial, buddy. But
that vodka is good too.
Yeah,
I love
so Kenny.
vodka.
I'm gonna hook you guys up so that I guarantee you he'll sponsor a ride in Vail. So like you guys go do that, and the Nerd Distillery is.
And we
really
need to come out there
cool.
then too.
Yeah, we're going out there for that. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. So yeah, we'll set that up. But hey, before Buddy gets to the AR, Kenny, give us some last words.
Man, I really appreciate you guys having me on. This has been an awesome experience, and thanks for having me and let me share what we got going on and helping the community as a whole. Super proud to be doing what I'm doing and sharing it with guys like you that are doing the same thing.
Hell yeah.
All right, Buddy, AAR time.
Two pages
he's got
of
his notes. Yeah.
Two pages of notes, guys.
Okay.
First things first, forget what you think you know about the GWAT. That shit was all about intergalactic travel to go fuck aliens up. Like we're kicking in Stargate doors. We're jumping on the other side. We're grabbing
hashtag Space Force. Yep.
Hashtag grabbing lizard people by their tails and beating other lizard people to death with their own wiggled off lizard tail. That's what we're doing.
Damn.
The Book of Burl. It's the same Book of Burl as the Book of Burl is almost every time. Stop being a triggered pansy. Own up to your own shit. No one else has to care about your shit. It's what it basically boils down to. We just sometimes he changes the words around a little bit. It's the same thing. Just stop being a bitch. Let's see. And then we got Kenneth Stone. We got Kenneth Stone, or as I'm going to refer to him from now on, Kenny Cab Scout. That's your character for me from now on. He's Kenny Cab Scout. Anyway, Kenny says that you can ride bikes just like him, and you should. And it turns out there's a crazy theory out there that doing things that interest you with people that have the same shared experiences as you helps to reveal that you aren't as fucked up as you think you are, and that you won't ever be able to get any better because other people are getting better in groups where they have shared experience and they're sharing experiences that are fun. It turns out that equals hope, and hope, my friends, is all you fucking deserve. Like, you get hope, you do with it what you can, and then you bear responsibility.
Look at all those hearts and likes, buddy, you're getting right now.
You got a lot of hearts on that, buddy.
Yeah, well.
Who knew you had your feminine side?
Look at you, buddy.
I am real close to dropping my own dick off and drinking some Bud Light, guys. I've got 2 downstairs. I'm about to go get that. About to go get fucked up on that tranny fluid, if you know what I mean.
Well, hey, great episode. A lot of fun, brother. We're definitely going to talk for a few minutes after this. Love what you're doing. You're obviously extremely passionate about it. And again, like Buddy just alluded to, like, it's all about therapy, getting together with, like-minded individuals who speak that warrior language, and that's what we do every Saturday. So, thumbs up to you. I see this going a lot further. Just keep doing what you're doing. To anybody that tuned in late, go to veterantrashtalk.com. That has the links to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Shopify, which we have all this awesome merch. All right. Shop.veterantrashtalk.com. Nice shirt, buddy. Go check out some of our merch. Buy some shirts. Support the cause. And we'll catch you guys next Saturday. Baseman BTT out.